if you want to jump in and say a few words about yourself.
Myself, my name is Federico Camera. I'm also from the affiliate side. Alts Digital is marketing agency affiliation, and mostly known for SEO for a long time. Our major products, Aposta Legal and Aposta Legal, are kind of like SEO for LATAM. This is like our major product, but we have like also experience on affiliation on other digital kind of strategies and marketing strategies. But this is like our major for what you are known for.
Thank you, Federico.
Hi, Shachar Atias, Hybrid Interaction. I'm also the CEO, I think. We deliver CRM and gamification managed services to operators. And since there are affiliates in the audience, I will try to use short, simple words.
Hi, I'm Julia Logan. I am the co-founder and head of digital of AI City Media. We are affiliate publishers. I personally have been involved in SEO since 2000, but as of lately, we're using AI quite a lot, and we are working on our own technical solutions for our own needs. So I think it will be quite interesting to provide this kind of perspective on the topic of the AI as well.
Julia.
Hi, nice to meet you all. I'm Asaf Stiglitz, the founder of odds1x2.com and wisefox.ou. We are currently a B2B provider of data services, widgets, API, etc., everything involved in sports betting. We try to encapsulate it and make it to our partners as a whole package that looks part of the websites. And this is our main strength, and we are, of course, using and utilizing a lot of AI.
Hello, everyone. My name is Effe, come from Match21. We are a full funnel programmatic platform that basically helps with acquisition, and we are global. Some clients sit here, and my background is marketing, acquisition, and now recently a bit AI.
Hello, this is Aris. I'm the founder of RankMe.ai and former global head of SEO for Amazon. And we've built the most advanced content optimization for SEO for AI based on an AI simulation. And we sell it as an API.
Thank you, guys. Before jumping into the first question, I want to say something. Again, the panel covers a very hot topic. There are many things to be discussed. We are time limited. We'll go through a few questions today, but we're going to try to come back with an article on this topic and going to share it with the guys from Papa, so everybody will be able to read all the things that we consider are important for this main topic. Okay, and now the first question that we will try to find answers for at this moment will be the part with the automation of the AI acquisition. So the big question is like this: are we still doing acquisition like in the old days where you need big teams to do this, or we are doing it now with just as a part of human interaction, or we are finding ways to fully automate the acquisition part? So what do you say, guys?
I think we can. Interesting questions. I want to step back. I will remind me like being on the panel here on AFPAP 1 year ago on AI. And 1 year ago on AI, we were talking about agents, especially agents on customer service. That was the topic 1 year ago. And I don't know about you guys, but sometimes it's fine. I want to kind of like close my laptop and come back in 6 months to know what AI is now able to do. Every 3 months, it's kind of like, oh, now it's possible to do this. And now I've been spending 3 months doing this, and now I can automate this already. And this is like what's been impressive in the last 3, and I think it's like skyrocketing still. Like every month is quicker than the previous months. So what we can say today will be like in 3 months. Like it's almost kind of
it becomes very fast outdated.
What I will be able to tell. But even today, what I feel we are doing two kind of strategies, and as Julia said about like we are doing AI more and more often. We were doing already for the last 2 years. Last year was kind of like one kind of things. We were doing websites 1 year ago. We were doing apps 6 months ago. We were doing kind of like accountants 2 years ago. But we are doing more and more stuff now. We're like replacing everyone. It's like 30-40% of the team is now being kind of like on the C level, considering like we don't kind of need hiring anymore. Need kind of like these people anymore. It's like our things are spreading inside our company, and I think in other companies, and the bigger they are, the more you can feel this. But that being said, on the topic of like being able for at least on Python page, and I'll cover SEO after, but at least on page, I think for a long time already, everything that's like bidding, making kind of like the algorithm has already been doing that. Platforms for the last 6 years, we could call them the algorithms, that there was already intelligence doing that. What's been impressive in the last 1 year is now that content and doing variations is being also being done. And so in the last 3 months, images became really cool images, and now they seem real finally. So in the last 3 months, real cool images, and the algorithms of Meta and Google already doing the variations. So now finally, the middle step is done. I think now for the first time I've been seeing our teams, and we are being able to create and setting up the campaign, and then coming back in a quarter.
So now you create content, you create images. What else?
I think the setup is like the part that we spend more time now. So the idealization, the concept, knowing who are our target, setting up which data we want to track, where are we going to find out if are we tracking the right data, if the data that you're tracking is the one that's the conversion that we really want, LTV, CAC, identifying everything, making sure that we have server-side events to track everything. So then we chat with Claude, we chat with OpenAI, and discuss some ideas, create the visuals, setting up the campaign, and now it's done. So we come back to the campaign 3 months after, because everything that's like bidding, changing, and identifying which campaign is working well, the platform already does that. We don't need the team to be on top of that anymore.
I see. Other opinions here? Zahar?
How much time do you have?
Whoa, this is a very sensitive question, but I trust we'll be able to be very, very concise.
The answer is no. So I actually think that the question is wrong.
Okay.
So outside of our industry, there are discussions about the single-person unicorn, a company founded by one person working with AI, creating a solution that will be valued at $1 billion or more for affiliates. 1 billion is one, and anyway. The technology exists, okay? Meaning content, images, SEO, bidding, PPC. Why not? Licensing, platform development, CRM, automation, AI agent to do customer support. All we are lacking are bots that will play with this, because everything else one person can create. So are we in the age of AI-dominated acquisition? No, that's a question for last half, Papa. Okay, we are probably months from someone that will pull such a trick, create a whole turnkey solution by himself.
Okay, I see. But I think we are now speaking very, very conceptual and theoretically. Maybe we could speak a bit more practical. So somebody here does proper AI acquisition with paid ads that could give us a bit more insights.
Yeah, but that's not me. We don't do acquisition.
I understand.
We make money from them.
I understand. I'm affiliate, but I understand.
That falls on me then, I guess. But it's important to understand, like we at Match to One, we've been doing this for almost a decade now. What's new is not AI. What's new is the hype around AI. And all these LLMs, propensity models, yada, 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 sure, it's good. But we need to go back to understand and conduct proper testings to understand the differences between in the funnel of doing acquisition. How you do it? Well, from my experience or our experience from acquisition is to do proper input and output strategies, which is basically to let AI with human interactions, of course, because we cannot only let the AI do the input, we need to have humans who understands, and then take the outcomes from it, and then change the direction. It doesn't have to be rocket science, what we're doing, because it's not. But we need to simplify, and we need to do input and output strategies around it.
I fully agree with you. Julia, something to add here?
Yeah, I totally agree with you that human supervision is not going anywhere, no matter how advanced AI technologies get. We're using it quite actively, but without our input, without our proper direction, we won't get the results that we expect. So this is very important. The person assigned to the task of overseeing what AI is doing should not be some junior person. It should be a person who actually understands the processes within your business entity and knows what you're doing, why, and what you're trying to achieve. And basically, if you convey that properly to the AI, then you've got a winning solution. If not, it's going to be mediocre at best.
Fully agree. So just to summarize this, because we went a bit over the time for this question. Yes, it's a thing. Yes, it's happening. Yes, everybody could do it. But in the same time, as also Julia said here, it's very important to be supervised by somebody who understands the entire funnel, because otherwise we'll end up with bad results. You know how they say, the output is as good as the input is. So give it a good prompt and then...
Ship in, ship out.
Exactly. Cool. Now let's go to the second question that we have prepared for today. And now we speak a bit about SEO. So when AI appeared, LLM became a bit more famous. Everybody started using famous fancy new words such as geo, AO, and many other terminology to find ways to say SEO for LLMs. And now our question is like this: what do you guys think? It's SEO dead or it's SEO 2.0 now?
Far from that. Basically, if we were given €1 per each time that somebody screams SEO is dead, we'd probably be pretty rich people by now, yeah? Thing is, SEO used to be submitting your site to directories. Then SEO used to be manipulating PageRank, if you will, right? Then SEO used to be creating content. Then SEO used to be fighting the penguin. Then SEO used to be voice, mobile, whatever. SEO keeps redefining itself. Basically, where we are now is at the stage when we have this new interface that people want to access information through. And it's our duty as SEOs to make it work. Simple as that. So SEO is definitely far from dead. And no, it's not geo, it's not some other acronym, it's still SEO, I believe. Because basically what we are coming to, raise your hands if you've seen Google's guidelines for optimizing for AI visibility. Google has just published...
It's pretty new. It's just 2 days, 3 days.
They have just published it on Friday. So yeah, it's pretty new, but I advise you to have a look. So basically, we're going back to the basics. We are going back to where SEO has started. We are starting from the basics, the key concepts of SEO. So there is no need to invent some new acronyms. You just need to get the basic principles, get the core principles of SEO and apply them to what you're doing now with these new interfaces in mind. Simple as that.
Thank you very much. Asaf, something else to add?
So to summarize it, SEO isn't dead, but SEO for the iGaming industry as we know it for the past 20 years is dead already dead. And these days, when you're looking about what we call SEO, it's completely changed. It's not about content as it used to be, about the top 20 best UK casinos, etc. It involves about data and about being cited by Google AI overviews and by LLMs, etc. It's a completely new ball game. It's not dead. It's changed a lot. SEO overviews now amounts for 25% more or less of the search results. And if you are not there, you are not in the index. And one thing that I want to mention, some overlooked it, but Google has a lot to do with it. Google put all the chips on AI, which means the index became a much worse index. It's not a good search engine anymore. When you allow parasite websites, news websites that buy a lot of links, PBNs, etc., to be on top, and you don't remove them within a reasonable period, which means 1 week, 2 weeks, and it takes you 6 months, then other reliable sources are losing their rankings and losing their places. Just a week ago, I've talked about with a content director in a big media company, and what he told me was amazing. He said that their websites, which are fully white hat SEO, lost 50% of the traffic, and it's not because there are less traffic, less searches on Google. It's about the poor search results that Google provides nowadays.
Well, but can I?
Sure.
Yeah, but basically, SEO has evolved, not died. Perhaps their white hat sites have not adjusted to this new reality well enough. And I mean, this you say about parasites, you say about link networks, you say about all the other things that are surfacing in the SERPs. This has been going on forever.
Yes, but
Penguin tried to fix it, it failed to fix it. Other updates have tried to fix it, they failed to fix it. It's just a matter of SEOs, black hat, white hat. Basically, you're only white hat if you're sitting and watching PageRank grow.
yeah, but
Yeah, if you're trying to rank in Google, call it whatever, but it's not white hat, okay? But in any case, you just need to consider the current realities of the SERPs without blaming Google, without putting the blame on someone else, but just see how you can adjust your own behavior, you can adjust your own strategies to this new reality, and how to make yourself still visible in this new reality.
I agree. You have to adjust all the time, but Google used to supervise and human supervision on the search quality, and nowadays it looks they are less guarding and more putting the chips on AI, and therefore some of the results, not all of them, deteriorates.
Well, yes, true that. But basically, when we're talking about Google being on top of it all, are we talking about human reviewers? That's not scalable these days, and it's natural for them to come up with the idea that perhaps AI could replace the human reviewers. Only it doesn't happen so well, and we know it's not going to work that way. But basically, Google entering this competition race in AI and even reshaping their whole company strategy towards AI first, SERPs second.
So I think this is a very nice topic to be covered in our article.
Absolutely,
So
absolutely.
we might go
Yeah,
forever here.
we could have a long discussion about this, I feel, yeah.
If you'd like, I can throw in 3 tactical things that actually are different.
Okay.
Just to help people's strategies, right? I think number 1 is technical audits. Your old technical audits don't work anymore. I do about 10 new customers a month right now, and I want to say more than half get something wrong with your tech stack. Either you don't allow web search bots to take your content, either something is wrong. I see this so often. It's like it's the 90s again. The second thing is, with AI, you don't have to guess. You can do simulations. You know the answer before you publish it. You know if it's going to work if you have the right toolkit. So it's a different ballgame. Number three, keeping it very quick. AI has to be convinced. If AI thinks that your roulette streaming is slow, it doesn't matter how much content you publish that says you have a big bonus or whatever. Like when the customer searches for the best casino, a live casino, it's not going to rank you until you convince it that I have a great streaming platform. So you need to think differently about your content. It's not keywords, it's concepts. You need to know what the AI thinks is important and change it. I'll leave it at that.
Thank you very much. Just to summarize, SEO is not dead, SEO is evolving. Cool. Let's go further. Now we have another topic which relates strictly to the acquisition part, and actually it's also for retention. This part, it's about hyperlocalization at scale. So basically, using the LLMs to be able to do hyperlocalization for all geos, all customers, not only geo related, even customer related, because now we have the power to generate content and generate images and whatever we want at our hand. So what are you guys saying on this topic? Who wants to start? Let's give a bit more room to somebody else.
I'll take a first stab. I think it's easy these days to publish, right? A lot of content. That's the easy part. I think the hard part is publishing content that resonates with the market in the language that you're publishing it, that it's about the right sports, that it's safe from a regulatory perspective and all that stuff. So I think if you're building this, right, if you're buying it, it's a different story. If you're building it, I'd say you need to think about 4 categories quickly. 1, you need to have targeting for topics and discovery of topics that is local. So, you can't have a single engine or a single service somewhere creating content for all the languages. You need to know exactly what's the interesting thing, what's trending in each market. And that becomes each market has to have its own source of content ideas. Whether you have bots that steal ideas from competitors or you have your own processes, that's different, but you have to go and customize it per language. Grounding is super important. If you're going to have bots writing a lot of content, it's so much, you can't even audit it. You have to have a secondary, agents that go in and enforce regulatory concerns. You have to be able to control that the content you're producing is legal and it's talking to the customers in the right language, it's in the right currency, uses the right payment methods if that's relevant to your business, etc., etc. The third thing is optimization. Obviously, that's a topic for a book, but the key things to take from an SEO AI perspective is, again, that for traditional SEO, most companies are figuring it out, prompt engineering their way into creating content that ranks well with A/B testing, etc. For AI SEO, you don't have to wait. You can simulate it before you publish it. So I think the cutting edge is in that right now, is to know if it's going to work before you even publish. Don't waste time. The fourth is filtering. At the end of any effort you have, because all those engines make mistakes. If you've built AI systems, they will all produce rubbish no matter how well you build them. The last agent always has to be something quite simple, which checks, is this good enough to go live? Have I been writing about this stuff all over again? Do I have the right ratio between casino and sportsbook content? Like, you have to have a filter, call it your editorial AI, that goes and says, this is duplicate, this is enough, we've written about this, or your engine produced this 2 days late, this match is over. Like, you have to have, if you're doing automation, you have to have an editor AI, effectively. And that's, I think, in a nutshell, how I think about a program, if you wish.
Thank you. Federico?
Yeah, totally. As we are on SEO, as we are experts in LATAM, we have to do different nuances on texting, even if Ecuador, Mexico, Peru, Chile, it's not the same kind of language. It have like the translation in different languages. When AI came up like 1 year and a half, 2 years ago, when we started using it, this is like the strategy. Like that's how we started, and we've been implementing on top of it. And every kind of, as I said in the beginning, every 3 months we've been involving and keeping another layer on top of it. I think the one that is missing to us, and we still haven't been able to implement, is the editor part. I think we've replaced pretty much our content strategy. Instead of having juniors or starting for drafting and creating, following our rules, we set up the rules and the agents now do the parts of following our rules. And even those kind of like having another agent reviewing the text of the first agent for other kind of things for it, it's already happening. But in the end, it started to be a very good idea, but it's failing mostly of the time on performance. So when you start testing, going to the market, it doesn't perform the same way. So we always need the human part of it in the end, reviewing what the interns have done, and rebuilding and readapting and making. AI doesn't make good jokes. AI doesn't understand conceptual, what the people really want to know. What does move people? What makes people laugh? Still doesn't get that. So if you need to adapt for the geolocalization, and you need to adapt for the way those people on that country think about things and how do they. So you need the human touch. So as Julia said in the other part, is like we're not replacing humans but we don't need juniors for that. We need very experienced editors in the top, having loads of content, loads of ideas already drafted, already optimized, already knowing how much percentage of casino and sports is being like, and now tweaking it and adapting it in a way that other humans will read it and love it, and that's like the part that is missing.
I see. So just to summarize, we're running out of time, Julia. We have 2 more questions.
Can I just add 2 words? Editors knowing this particular market really well. So that is the winning combination.
Yeah. So basically, it's a thing, we could do it, but you must do it well, because otherwise we'll just generate rubbish and will not convert. Okay, the next question that we want to cover is more about the strategic part of the business. Everybody speaks about AI, everybody wants to integrate AI, but the key thing is, how do you measure the ROI of AI? And this is the most important part, because I'm seeing also in my company, we are very AI focused for the last 2 years, but we have so many projects that we just started them because they were fun. We don't measure. At the end of the day, we lose money with them. So again, I repeat the question, how do we measure the ROI of AI? Sahar?
Sorry, we have 10 minutes left, just so you know.
Thank you.
To ask some questions. Thank you.
Okay, so there's the basic formula to evaluate the impact of a project or the contribution. Everybody knows it's not iGaming related. It's the incremental profit minus the cost divided by the cost. Yes, that's basic business management. The problem with AI is that with costs that are being misallocated, then you can easily get skyrocketing percentages that you think that you're doing well, but essentially it doesn't, or at least it's not contributing to the target. In development spheres, they talk that the concept is that if your AI project doesn't increase your efficiency by at least times 10, then it's not a good implementation of AI. Okay. Having said that, what's your company? Meaning, what do you do? And I'm going back to what I've said earlier about the segmentation of the roles or the different companies in our industry. So clearly, yes, you're a B2B platform, you develop a product or whatever. So per project, clearly you implement a certain AI module or you develop an AI functionality. You can measure it this way, it's clear. But what if you are a services company? What if you are an affiliate? What if you are secondary wave of product delivery? Then it becomes different, and then you develop your own internal tools. And over there, the measurements are slightly different. I think that the bottom line is, you know the vision, you know that you will end up at an AI-dominated environment, and you know where you are right now. The question is, how do you not let the AI development overshadow your focus, switch you from what you're doing, migrating into that concept mindset without harming your own business. So, is there a number? Yes, it's 42. But should I go back to exactly?
So, Efe, anything to add here?
Yeah, I mean, my take on it from helping operators is I'm still a bit surprised and sometimes even scared when I speak to operators, because nowadays there's still these discussions about last click attribution modeling and too dependent on just click data, which is also very scary in my opinion, because then you go away from what acquisition is all about and how to measure it and how to do ROI properly. And that's to have a simple attribution model. If you don't have that, how can you measure ROI properly? Especially nowadays when affiliates are putting, and I've seen this with my own eyes without mentioning names, I've seen a lot of affiliates being desperate, putting click trackers in impression tracker, for instance, to take the last click attribution, right? So all other sources that are getting to the web page is not getting the right credit, and then you can't measure ROI properly from each channel individually. So I think that's an important case now to have a proper attribution model. In my preference, keep it data-driven or multi-touch driven. It's very simple to put it out. There are great tools out there. And then, sure, implement some simple AI tools to help, and then just keep it simple and short.
So
Yeah.
just to summarize here, be focused. That's the most important part, because you feel you have all the power and you might go sideways. And be data-driven. So all the time have in mind the data. The last question, because we're running out of time, I think it's again a critical question. So should we build or should we buy the AI agents that our company is using?
We have built ours. We are building all of our tooling in our company. And basically, to add to the topic of tracking the ROI, yes, it saved us a lot of hours of work, definitely. Whether to build or to buy, well, there are several aspects to this. First, is there a ready-made solution that really serves your purposes well? Is it adjusted enough to your business processes, to your company? Or if there isn't one, do you have anyone who can build it? So
Your case is mainly build. Aris, what about your opinion?
I think the most important question in the build versus buy is, can your platform move fast to integrate new solutions? Because right now we live in the era where everything is reinvented every 3 months. You integrate this today, you have your own process, you're proud of it. Somebody in like 2 months comes up with a way of predicting if somebody needs a bonus and it's better than yours. And if your system is monolithic and you can't integrate it, you're back, you're behind, right? So I would say, don't think about, do I need to buy this tool? Think about creating your entire platform as a plugin. Don't have a CRM that does 52 things and then you can't separate anything. Own your data, build all your data, and everything else build as a service. And if somebody can do it better than you, buy them.
Okay, cool. Asaf, what do you say?
I think that the thumb rule for building yourself is, do you have an edge and different data than the other known vendors have? If you have your secret sauce, your known data, your unique data, build upon it and try to get the most out of it because you want to also keep your secrets and your secret sauce. So this for sure build. The others is, of course, you won't buy an LLM or an agent, but vendor-specific tools like CRM, etc., AI-driven, of course. It depends upon also the costs, because sometimes the cost of buying, of building, is not so high, but there is a maintenance work, and you have to also preserve the talent that built it. So it's a very difficult. But if you have the data, secret sauce, etc., build upon it for sure.
I can also add, it's not just what data you have, but what you do with it. This is also important.
I agree.
Okay. I think this is very subjective with the secret sauce because everybody believes his data is the best data, So I think that's the key thing. Is your data actually unique and nobody could take it, or you are just subjective and you think you have the best data and that's why you do not buy it? Okay, got it. Cool, guys. This is those are our questions for today. We have more, but they will come in a interview on AFPAPA on the website. But till then, from your side, any questions for our colleagues? Yes, Emma?
So, I don't need the mic yet. It's okay, it's okay. So, one of the biggest changes I've seen with AI research is the importance of brand presence, brand awareness, brand exposure for large language models. But with all these negative SEO that we currently see, so any decent operator will have 50 websites replicating their sites with content that is probably not very good. Now, do you think the LLMs will understand that those two websites that they have, those 50 websites, they have the same logo, but they don't represent the brand? Or is it brand hijacking an active problem with AI?
That's a very interesting question.
Can I answer? Basically, LLMs per se, in an isolated environment, will not know the difference. But it's a matter of how you represent your brand to the world, to the entire ecosystem, and to the LLMs. Because LLMs do not have algorithms like search engines do, but they do have their own sources of data. And basically, we are back to, I don't know what days of SEO. If somebody says, oh, best this and that, this site. Okay, Google used to take it, Yahoo used to take it, Ask Jeeves used to take it for absolute truth, right? We are in approximately the same era with AI now.
Okay. Aris, any opinions?
I'd say detect and kill. The Achilles heel of AI is uncertainty. If it's not sure about something, it's not going to answer. So what you need to do is monitor who's basically replicating, attacking your brand, and create a strategy where you seed AI with the doubt that this is not the right, it doesn't represent your brand. And if it's uncertain, it won't include it in its rankings.
Okay. Other questions? No more questions regarding AI?
I just want to add to the previous topic that it's all about authority. Okay, a brand can appear 50, 100 times in Medium, etc., with paid advertisement, etc. But if your team also has authority and the LLMs see the website, see the team members, know that they are for sure, etc., then the authority wins.
Define authority for AIs.
Okay,
that's a long story.
We have to cut for
Okay,
lunch
thank you very
time,
much.
but we'll be back at 1:40, okay?
Thank you guys. Have a great day. Enjoy lunch.